Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adrian Reddix, and today we're getting back into the swing of things and we're having our first games review that we hadn't had in a couple weeks. And it's going to be Fanatical's Summer Mystery Bundle. I like doing these bundles because they do three things. One, they introduce me to games that I would never consider. Two, the fun of opening up these mystery games. And three, I just like playing different games just to see what I like. If you opt to, you get 10 games for $6.99. So we go through all 10 games that we get. We don't know what they are. They pop up as you open them. Do 5 in one part. We do 5 in another part. And in the second part of the video, we do a recap, tell you what games I like, give you a price breakdown, and we just go from there. The first game is a game called Bombshell. Bombshell is a play on words. Bombs are a big part of this game, and also bombshell used to be a term that meant sex symbol. Back in the 40s, 50s, things like that, you had noted bombshells like Eartha Kitt, Raquel Welch, Jane Mansfield, women like that. It was always a term for women, never a term for men. Bombshell is a game where you play Shelly Bombshell Harrison. She's like a contractor for a defense firm. She lost an arm and she uses that arm as a gun to shoot enemies. So when the game starts, you go through this whole little prologue thing of kind of a backstory. You see newspaper articles of her and her team, and she's working on a car. But the one thing that Bombshell does is it throws you into the action and it doesn't give you a sense of control. There's a YouTuber called Rasputin, and he did this video with his wife. She's never played video games before, and he wanted to know how would somebody who never played a video game before interact with the game. And to me, I was thinking that the whole time, that how would somebody who didn't know the controllers or familiar with video games know to get in there and try some stuff? It seems like it'd be a frustrating game. The tutorial is how to interact with the world, not how to actually move or function in the game. And the game itself seems a little unfinished, if that's the best way, because they kept referencing things in the game. And I'm like, am I supposed to know this? And it got to a point where they were referencing things. I'm like, this has to be a sequel to another game. And I went to go look it up, and it's not a sequel to another game. It was, according to Wikipedia, it was a game that was supposed to be a Duke Nukem game, but then some legal thing happened, and they had to change the character. And I guess that, if you're familiar with Duke Nukem series, he's the manly man, Duke Nukem, So they had to change the story, and I guess they just didn't connect it to make sense. The gameplay itself is average. It's a lot of shooting and mindless. There's not a lot of strategy to it. It's just a top-down shooter. You're looking from the top down. It's a third-person top-down shooter, and you just go around and you just shoot aliens. It's a way to have mindless, non-thinking shooting fun, and that's Bombshell. So the rating on Steam for Bombshell is 6 out of 10, and it's $34.99. And guys, we're already into value territory. If it's $34.99, we've got our money on the first game. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but hey, excellent. The next game, if you're sensitive to things of the occult or cults or religion, skip to this part of the video to the next game, because we're talking about religion. We're going to talk about cults. The next game is a game called ReLegion. If you look at how it's spelled, ReLegion, you take away the dash, ReLegion. You play this character named Alien, E-L-I-O-N, like an alien from outer space. They do a lot of this, like, name stuff. The names of the characters are reference to other things. It's okay. So you're this guy named Alien, and the first cut scene that you go to, it has him as like, oh, I've always been here, and I've been the ruler, and then I left for a while. So he comes back and he meets some of his old disciples. So the object of the game is you're trying to take back the land from the tyrannical government. And how you do that is you become the prophet, and you're trying to start your own religion, and you start your own cult. So you have these different rules and things to influence the people in your cult. So what you do is you're the prophet. You go around and you convert everyday citizens to your cult. So they become a follower. And a follower kind of isn't motivated. They believe in you, but they're not motivated. So once you convert people to followers, you can convert them to fanaticals or hackers or snipers or things like that. And you get enough of these people together, you can have, it's really a another top-down strategy game. So you can strategize how you interact and how you defeat your enemies. The game itself it's okay. As far as the gameplay, I saw myself wanting to play more and more. The AI is a little weird. You know, if you have too many people going in the same direction as far as your cult, you'll get a lot of jittery things happening, and it's a little it's a little much at times. It received a 6 out of 10 on Steam, and the cost is $9.99. The third game is a game called The Egypt Prophecy: The Fate of Ramses. This game, so what I do with games, especially these bundles, I don't go do any research beforehand. I just get into it and see how I can interact with the world, how the gameplay is for somebody who just is gonna play this game outright. This game, I didn't know what the heck it was. It was weird. You would go, and it has this cutscene about how Ramses asked the god for more years of rule. And he said, I'll give you more years of rule if you build a great obelisk for me. So he started to build an obelisk, and some weird things started to happen at the job site. So he sends one of his priestess named Maya to go investigate. Cool. So you arrive at the obelisk where people are working. You know, they're tapping the hammers and tapping stone or whatever. And I walk up to the first person and interact with them, and they turn around, and everybody I interact with in this game put their hands on their hip like, can I show it to you? Like, to talk to you. And they're like, who are you? It's weird. So I was like, okay. And they go through the little dialogue, and you have to prove that you're from the Pharaoh. I really didn't know what the heck I was doing. And then I finally started clicking around after like 20 minutes of just aimlessly wandering around before I realized it was a point and click game. It seems like it was a point and click game from long ago. So I went to go do a little research. It's a 2004 point and click adventure game, a puzzler. I don't know if you are like me, but point and click adventure games or puzzlers, most of them are bad. And this one is no exception, because it didn't age well. The graphics, let's go read the Steam page. On the Steam page, it has high definition graphics animation, maybe for 2004. User-friendly inventory system. Maybe. A large number of riddles to solve. I didn't make it past the first couple because it was just slow. Every time you clicked, you had to wait, click, look around, click. It's a very slow moving game. If you're into point and click, I guess it's not that bad, but it was slow to me. Varied sound environments and bewitching music. I heard no bewitching music, and the only sound I heard was people banging on hammers. The closer you got, the louder the hammer got. This game, I didn't too much care for. Just gonna be honest with you. And on Steam, It received a 6 out of 10, and the cost for this is $4.99. The next game. The next game is a game called Skyhill. Skyhill is a game where you're a business guy and you check into a hotel and they put you in the luxury suite, and then an announcement comes over the intercom that says, hey, everybody stay in the room. And he looks outside and a nuclear bomb comes and boom. Now everything is dystopian. So now you have to fight your way out of this hotel called Skyhill. This is one of those roguelike games. And if you don't know what roguelike is if you die, you start over from the beginning. They do give you some things to help you out on this. So what you do is it's 100 levels you have to get through. So you start at the top of the penthouse where you can do things like crafting. There's also a crafting game. So you go through and you fight different aliens and people and monsters, and you scavenge. You go through and you look through people's drawers and shelves and get things so you can craft them into new items, or you can eat them or rebuild your health. Because in this game, health and food are very important. Each time you go to a new room, one food is taken. So if you have 100 food, you go to a new room, that's 99. You go down the stair, that's 98. Go to the left, 97. Go to the right, because there's 3 rooms per level. So it'd be 96, 95, right? So 10, right. So each time you go to a room, you lose 1 food. And if you lose all your food, then you start losing health, because you're hungry now. But they have different foods throughout the thing. This game is a very, very interesting game because each time you restart, like a lot of roguelike games, it's different every time you play the game. So the rooms are different, where the enemies at are different, and how you interact with them. So it's a RNG, a random number generating fight whenever you fight with the monsters. You can either do a general attack where it just attacks and does whatever, or you can specify what part of the body you want to attack. Each part of the body carries a percentage of hit. So if you hit the arms are the highest percentage of hit, but they also do the least amount of damage. You can hit the body, which does medium damage, or you can hit the head, which does a high damage, but the percentage of accuracy goes way down. To me, the game is fun. I really like this game. Skyhill on Steam gets 7 out of 10, and it's $14.99. The last game of this video, the 5th game of the bundle, is a game called Secret Agent. Secret Agent is a old school Apogee software game. If you don't know who Apogee software is, they became 3D Realms, and 3D Realms made things like, they're most famous for Duke Nukem. So the Duke Nukem series and things like that. So this game came out in the late 80s, and it's a DOS game. Full disclosure, I love DOS games, but the only thing about DOS games is I was never good at most DOS adventure games. So this is a side-scrolling platformer game. You start off as a secret agent, which the secret agent on this one looks a lot like the first Duke Nukem, and I'll put a picture of both of them together. So you start off at this island. You parachute on this island and you go through different levels, and the levels are very specific. There's a very specific way you have to interact with them. You have to go get keys and unlock doors to go to different parts of the level. It is a very, very, very fun game. I liked it a whole bunch because it was so dynamic. Even though it's DOS, it seems like they took the game and put it through like because when I opened the game, it seemed like a little light program called DOSBox came up. And DOSBox helps people who want to play old games play them on modern systems because it emulates a DOS computer. And some of these DOS games are really fun. Secret Agent is one of them. And the levels are just dynamic. Each level is different. It's just completely different, and a different puzzle that you got to solve. I liked it a whole bunch. On Steam, this game got a 8 out of 10. I think that's a little low. It's probably a 10 out of 10 in my book. And the game itself costs $4.99. Let's add all these up so far and see what our total is. First game, Bombshell, $34. $4.99 plus $9.99 plus $4.99 plus $14.99. That's for Skyo. Plus $4.99. All right, so far in this bundle, we have a total of $69.95. So far, we're doing excellent for the $6.99 that we spent. Next video will be up soon. Thank you guys for joining me. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why you didn't like the video. And if you like videos like this, please consider subscribing. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.